Many a time now, there have been lots of TikTok videos that have come out of women supporting this bitch. This Lindsay Clancy, wonderful creature. And this is what got me interested in it because, holy shit, women need to be beaten so badly. I know I advocate for beating women on a daily basis. It started out as a joke. I'm not joking. There are these women who are playing part of the trial audio and crying at the same time with the caption, "Same Lindsay."
I'm completely overwhelmed trying to take care of the kids. I'm drowning every day. I feel guilty that I'm spending my family's money and not making any. I feel like I spend way too much. She wrote that, right?
Correct.
I'm terrified of Callan getting sick. He's a sick baby. A sick baby is miserable. He's sick now with a double ear infection. Clearly has a bellyache. It's miserable.
This was like the worst one because in this scene here, you can see their child being sick and crying. Mouth stop.
He's sick now with a double ear infection. Clearly has a...
And so this horrible woman is not only filming herself crying on TikTok, which is a very attention whore thing to do. One woman filming themselves in general is attention whore. Hello, see me. Two, doing it while crying is even worse. And then also her kids on top of that too. This is such like a shit sandwich upon shit sandwich here. And then the cherry on top is the child mouthing stop looking into the camera as well because he just wants to be held by his mom and cared for, and she's more obsessed looking at the phone instead of him and taking care of him instead.
It's miserable. I feel like the other kids are going to get him sick all winter long. She wrote that, right?
Correct.
I always feel strongly against sleep training. I feel like it's abusive to let the baby cry and not respond, but I made the decision. I did it with Cal. It is way too much crying.
Same with like this child too, just sitting there crying, and it looks very unhealthy. One thing that's not talked about enough is how people are addicted to their phones, specifically parents with small children, because obviously daycare bad, women need to be staying at home with their kids. But if the mom's just constantly on her phone and not paying attention to the baby notices this. It has a very similar effect of the mom not being there at all because it's realized it notices it might not be able to speak the words. It might not be able to fully comprehend it, but it recognizes it's being neglected and something else is more important of it. So when you have kids, it is essential, it is imperative to detox from the phones and never ever let your small child see you on your phone, especially when like hanging out around the house. You always want to be doing something productive or keeping your eyes on them. And then as they get older, you can. But for the first few years, don't. It will fuck them up mentally. And here we are, another one of her children crying and looking at the phone, wanting this to be taken care of and instead being filmed instead. And not actually being able to see his mother's face, who's supposed to be reassuring and making him feel better instead.
It is way too much crying. It's incredibly stressful. She wrote that, right?
Correct.
He's okay. He will be okay. It's not harmful in any way. The doctor said it was okay. Plenty of people sleep train their kids at that age. It's necessary as a third child, is what she wrote, right?
Correct.
I feel incredibly sad and guilty about not breastfeeding anymore. That was the one thing I could do to help his immune system, and I can tell he really doesn't like the formula. I'm very sad about this. I know at this time it's what I needed to do for my mental health. She wrote that, right?
Correct.
And then the statement started getting small.
I just look how dead her eyes are too when she's not performative crying. There's something about it seems off. It looks very dead, but also very threatening. I didn't watch this whole entire video before stream. I just watched basically up to this part. But when I did, I was just like, holy fuck. That woman sends off alarm bells. Those eyes, that is not the eyes of a sane woman whatsoever.
Smaller and smaller as time went by. One occasion, it's like I'm desperate to get a mental break from taking care of everyone. My mind is trying to make something physically wrong with me. My mind never shuts off.
And once again, this audio is from the trial of what Lindsay Clancy was saying. And unfortunately, a lot of her concerns are valid because it's a very normal thing women go through, especially in the modern age. The fact that this woman is recording herself crying and her kids crying and suffering and saying, "Sam Lindsay," when this Lindsay fucking chick murdered her kids. That is fucked up beyond belief. There's so many levels of twisted that words could not describe.
It's constantly thinking of the next thing someone needs. I can't shut it off. I desperately want to go back to work, but now I don't know how I'm going to function, and it worries me.
The fact that Lindsay says in her statements, or at least certain notepad thing, that she desperately wants to go back to work. No normal woman would ever want to go back to work and abandon her kids at such a young age. There were clearly emotional attachment issues there. Wanting to go back to work and having that emotional attachment there clearly means something was severely wrong. And she was able to recognize that was something severely wrong, which is making her go even crazier and probably more than likely creating even more emotional distance attachment with her kids. Yeah, that's not good. And then you have these women also agreeing with her. That's yeah, all these women need to be put in asylums right now because we was trying to prevent these kids from being murdered in the first place.
Wrote that, right?
Correct.
There were 2 consecutive or 2 pages that were blank that she didn't even write on. And then on the third entry, affirmations. She wrote affirmations on November 22nd of 2022. I am calm. I will remain calm today. There is nothing that needs to be on my mind. The weight is lifted from my mind. I will sleep tonight. She wrote that, right?
Correct.
And now she's trying to look happy for this video. The guy's saying it's calm and everything's fine. Yeah, I don't know. See, this is why I said like way early before we got into Lindsay Clancy stuff about like my personal life. I would never post about my kids and my relationship about these things. I don't trust any woman. They just always just want more and more attention. And I just cannot trust between all those videos of crying that this is actually genuine happiness to everything about this seems so very performative and fake and extremely fucked up. And she's not the only one. Same thing here, same audio, but different fucking woman. Still more performative crying. We're not going to watch the full thing because it's 3 minutes long.
Further on into her travels, I am completely overwhelmed trying to take care of the kids. I'm drowning every day. I feel guilty that I'm spending my family's money and not making any. I feel like I spend way too much. She wrote that, right?
Correct.
I'm terrified of Callan getting sick. He's a sick baby. A sick baby is miserable. He's sick now with a double ear infection. Clearly has a bellyache. It's miserable. I feel like the other kids are going to get him sick all winter long. She wrote
this whole scene here where she's moving her head side to side so you can make sure you can see the tears in her eyes and glistening in the light.
That, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
I always feel.
Why would you do this? Why would you do the head bob like this? You're not Indian. I absolutely despise women so fucking much.
That, right?
Correct.
I always feel strongly against sleep training. I feel like it's a.
And then she looks annoyed, like, blah, blah, blah. Now she's looking at the video again. She's like, oh, I gotta be sad.
Respond, but I made the decision. I did it with Cal. It is way too much crying. It's incredibly stressful. She wrote that, right?
Correct.
He's okay. He will be okay. It's not harmful in any way. The doctor said it was okay. Plenty of people sleep train their kids at that age. It's necessary as a third child, is what she wrote, right?
Correct.
You're bitch, you are vacuuming. Or I guess, probably based off the attachment, that might actually be, she might be carpet cleaning instead. You are on the floor of a nice looking house with a nice looking carpet cleaner / vacuum thing here, and you're crying. Now, I won't lie. Okay, I've gotten frustrated when my dad's dog in particular, she's a German Shepherd, and she's got a very hyperactive bladder, but like, it's not the end of the world, and it doesn't happen that often. I get if you have multiple kids and trying to juggle things around, it can be a bit more stressful, but like, come on, lady. You could be out working in the coal mines instead. You could be off in the war and fucking a bunch of guys in the military camp and then dying. You could be a peasant in medieval society and having to bake your own fucking bread and sew everything. Carpet cleaning from your baby throwing up or whatever is not the end of the world. I hate women so much. I hate women so fucking much.
I feel incredibly sad and guilty about not breastfeeding anymore. That was the one thing I could do to help his immune system, and I can tell he really doesn't like the formula. I'm very sad about this. I know at this time it's what I needed to do for my mental health. She wrote that, right?
I know I talked about it earlier in the Dankula video, but she's like, oh, the formula. I can tell he doesn't like the formula. Then don't fucking give him formula. I know she's saying it's because of her mental health, but it's actually healthier for you to breastfeed because it like, not only does it help women lose weight, but it also will help like with pair bonding hormones when the baby does suck on the teat, okay? Deal with it, woman. You have to make sacrifices to raise a kid.
Correct.
And then the statement started getting smaller and smaller as time went by. One occasion, it's like I'm desperate to get a mental break from taking care of everyone. My mind is trying to make something physically wrong with me. My mind never shuts off. It's constantly thinking. of the next thing someone needs. I can't shut it off. I desperately want to go back to work, but now I don't know how I'm going to function, and it worries me. Wrote that, right?
Correct.
There were 2 consecutive or 2 pages that were blank that she didn't even write.
Okay. Well, like I said, we're not going to watch the whole video, but I just wanted to show another woman being fucking insane about this with the audio and how performative it is. Well, it depends on what you consider is worse. Because there's this video here. I can't play the audio for this because it has music on it. But this bitch, as the tweet says, full face of makeup with lashes so she can set up her camera and film herself crying about how much she hates her kid to get sympathy online. As a local vagina holder, do you want to know how many layers of makeup this woman has? From even I can tell from the shitty quality, okay? Right? So she's got lipstick on, she's got foundation, she's got eyeliner, she's got eyeshadow, she's got fake eyelashes, and I'm assuming she probably also did her eyebrows too, because if you're gonna go the full mile, you might as well do that too. 7 layers of makeup for a TikTok video of her crying, and you can even tell it's fake crying too, because how she looks and pouts into the camera. It's not the disgusting wide mouth open, the face contorted kind of crying. It's like, I'm so sad. Well, look at me. My baby's also crying, but I have the audio turned off because of the music. But I'm just I hate women. I hate women. And she's trying to like position the baby too so it can actually be kind of in the camera. Also show her tits, okay? She's got her massive honkers out there, which don't get me wrong, look very nice minus the tattoos. But like, she's still very much showing this because even though it's supposed to be hashtag relatable for women, she still wants the men to be like, oh, I'm so sorry, my dear princess. I would treat you better than your husband did. Assuming she's got a husband. And the baby's just like not even sure what the fuck's happening here. Just whatever. On top of that too, okay? If you think things are bad enough, now there is this therapy process / excuse where these women are recording themselves throwing ice into a bathtub to let go of their rage. Some days as a mom, my patience is hard to control. Also, once again, notice the clothing she's wearing when she's doing. Like, she's supposed to be having this whole tard rage moment here, but she's wearing short shorts for it. Not like sweatpants or whatever the case is. So she's supposed to be a mom, right? Staying at home. Look how nice the place is, too. She's wearing a very short shirt that's not exactly a crop top, but every time she moves her arms slightly upwards, she shows her stomach. And she's turning her ass around the clothes, slam the door. I realized I said the crying toggle. I'm sorry. Sorry, it's just that little pause for that last throw where she's like, should I continue with this? I'll breathe in deeply and act like I'm very frustrated still. And she's like, now the caption of not done yet brought special ice this time. And her arms are up in the air so you can still see some tummy. How is that satisfying? I feel like it would be more satisfying to throw the small chunks again. Don't throw the ball while you're at it here. If you're really... The aftermath. Oh no! Water droplets on the bathroom floor! Oh, how horrendous. Ice in the tub that will melt down the drain. Oh, so scary. I hate women so fucking much, man. I just... Okay, this is a pretty good freeze frame here. Everything about this is so performative. Like I said, this is better, right? This is better than, recording your babies and fake crying. I do want to note, before we move on to the thing I was thinking of, that this is actually not a bad way to handle anger. This actually is a good psychological little trick here. It's kind of like those what is it called, the breaking rooms or the anger rooms, where you can go to a place and then you pay them money and then you take a bat and you just like destroy things, right? It's not actually a bad thing to do to relieve stress and anger if you're really pissed off and at your limits. It's the fact that you're doing this on TikTok TikTok and how performative it is, and then with the context of hating your fucking kids. But technically, this is a good psych trick to do in the right context, and this is the opposite of the right context. This is horrendous. But then the other point here, which I feel like is a good one to address, the mass psychosis of this, right? Because there's a lot of concern about the woman doing this in the first place. After all, this is what got me interested in the whole Lindsay Clancy case to begin with. But it's the mass psychosis of it, because you have all these women just brain rotting themselves on TikTok, and they are women by default are just attention whores. Any woman that puts herself out there on the internet is looking for attention, no matter what form it is, whether that be super lewd fucking OnlyFans shit, whether it be political fucking content with a side of games, or fucking filming themselves crying and shoving phones in front of their babies' faces. Everything about it is just for women to try to get attention, and they will do whatever gets them the most attention because they survive of it. They survive of it. It validates them. They are well aware they have a short lifespan of being desired for, and they will try everything they can to maximize it, especially with a bound of freedom that they currently have in the modern world. And so there's a story about in the ancient Greek city of Miletus, there was a high-profile suicide by a young woman, and because depression, suicide are psychogenic illnesses, some other Milesian maiden saw the attention she got and committed suicide herself, and pretty soon they got a suicide epidemic. How did it end, you ask? Well, they tried everything, but the young woman affected by this epidemic of madness seemed immune to reason, and then the leader of the city decreed that the next suicide would be stripped naked and left hanging in the city center to be leered at and then rot. How humiliating, you say? How cruel? How inhumane? But that was the last suicide in Miletus. I don't know if this story is actually true or not, but the point of the story is definitely true. Where like the Salem witch trials, where women will just accuse each other of being witches. That was probably just a way for them to get rid of women they don't like. Women will always gaggle around each other and try to destroy each other's lives, but they want to try to validate themselves and try to get attention as much attention as what they want. Hence why they the whole body positive movement that happened for like 10 years about, oh, it's okay to be fat, you can be pretty at any size, ooh. It was just a way to help the intersexual competition to be destroyed, and a lot of women follow that because it's to their advantage. For the thin ones or the fat ones are validated to be lazy. It's a win-win for everyone involved to a certain degree. Women are followers. They will go wherever the trend takes them, or that be with murdering, well, hopefully not murdering their children, but acting like they're going to murder their children, to politics. They will say whatever they need to say. They will do whatever needs to be done to get whatever attention they can feel like they can get from that time period there. They cannot be base. They can always just follow men. Very strict regulations on women, because that's the only way for them to be quote-unquote normal. Okay, there's a reason why every single civilization, every single society has always had regulations on women. It is imperative to do so. And the one instance that we have unleashed these chains and allow women to run free, they have absolutely unironically completely destroyed society. They need to be shackled and chained to the kitchen and become their own bread makers themselves. AKA, put that bun in the oven.